Thank you. I was not muted, but my power went out over the weekend and it turned off my audio interface, so my phantom power wasn't working. Hello. Welcome. Can you hear me now? I think it should be working. Oh. Hope you had a good weekend. Yay. I was saying I'm going to remake the water shader that I had. Hi dear, how's it going? I'm working on water for our swimming system. So let's see. Obviously, first thing we want to do is we want to have a color variable, and we'll call this water color. Plug that into the albedo channel. We can give it a default value of a blue. Nice lightish blue, maybe a little darker. Oh, thanks. It was fun. I watched the first half of Community Day during my lunch, and I'm gonna watch the rest later, maybe tomorrow morning. All right. Let's separate. What do they call it? This is one of those things where decompose. That's what it is. It's a function that lets you split out the well, that's compose. I need decompose. Decompose, there we go. So this lets you split out the red, green, blue, and alpha channels of a color. Oh, we're about to have ads, but I can plug this into the alpha, and that will let us make the water transparent. Alright, I'm gonna also make a material. Well, I already have a water material actually. Where is that? Water material. I'm gonna move this into the water folder. Actually, I'm gonna delete this and make a new one. Move. Okay. Great. Favorite material. Go. We can assign our water shader to our water material. And then I don't want to override it. Here. So we are going to need a texture. Let me go on open game art because I don't really want to draw a custom water texture right now. Why is this? Open game art org. Maybe their servers are just slow right now. I might have to just draw my own. That's fine. Oh, no, it's loaded. I'm gonna switch over to my tablet real quick. So I'm gonna make a new texture. Set the wrap mode. Right. Just trying to make like a kind of pattern that water would have. Should probably be looking at a reference actually. Hold on. Pressure sensitivity on that brush is way too high for me. So it's got like one of the big things, I guess, is we kind of want to duplicate this layer. And then move it slightly and then decrease the opacity on it. Doesn't look super good, but this is just to test. We'll make a better one in a bit. All right. Here's water. Actually, let me, I think if I throw a blur on it, it might look better. Do like a Gaussian blur. was on the main layer. I want to blur. I'll blur the base layer just once, and then I'm gonna blur the copy a couple of times. Or just yeah, we'll just blur it more. There we go. That looks slightly more water-like. I'll switch back to our Alright, so we have our water texture. So we want add a node texture to be and I think we're actually going to want to sample this texture multiple times. Because we're going to scroll the texture in multiple directions. So, there you go. So if we just throw this on here, it looks like that, which is not what we want it to look like. So we need UV. And then UV function, so we can take these, we can pan them. So this lets us, we have this offset here, so we can let's add a time node. If we plug this time directly into the offset, it's just gonna move. It's a little strong, but you can imagine, like, if we had 2 of these, and then we do like a multiply. Set this to like -1, and then we can add these two together. And obviously the scale is wrong and the speed is too fast. But we can make some parameters for that. So we can say, let's see, vector 2. Parameter. We can make 2 of these, so we can call one of them water size 1. And let's just make them default to 1, 1 for now. Plug that into UV scale. Plug that in the wrong. There we go. So now we have them scrolling, and now we can in our water material here, we can change these scales to like it doesn't seem like it's affecting the scale at all. It looks like it's only affecting speed. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so this is a UV function of panning, and this is also a UV function of panning. I think we might need to make a separate one for scaling. So I'll set this one to scaling. And then plug this into scale, and then get rid of this. Yeah, there we go. That. Yeah, if we set these to like a higher value, it actually it scales. Then we want to be able to have control of the direction and speed. So we'll do two more parameters. This will be water direction 1 and water direction 2. And we also want a multiply. So this one we'll just default it to 1, 1, and multiply time. This is already getting kind of unwieldy. And then this will go into the offset. Then we'll do a similar thing here. Set this one to -1, -1. Alright. Let's set these to like much higher values. And then these can be lower. So it looks really funky right now. ID Bray, how's it going? We're making a water material. The one thing we can do here, we can, so we added these together, clamp it, clamp it between 0 and 1, and then we'll do another add, this one, we'll add that, and we'll add this. And I think we might want to clamp it again. Just so it doesn't, what did I do? We add those two together, and then clamp it again. It's a little too strong, I think. So what we can do is we'll have we go another multiply. So we want the output to be a vector 4, and then float parameter, water 1 strength, and it's going to be a range between 0 and 1, and it will default to 0.75. So we're going to scoot all this over. Duplicate these. Plug that into the add. So that will let us we can make these less intense. And another thing that I was playing around with, we could also, instead of just like linearly scrolling the texture, we could do sine. So we could do the sine of time instead of just time. So this will kind of give it like that. Like ocean wave sort of back and forth. It looks a little funky right now because they're like perfectly synced. that is a way to do it. We can and play around with the opacity as well. It doesn't look terrible. See how it looks in game. That looks pretty similar to what I had before. And it's got a lot of parameters to tweak. We can swim. I put together this little pool. I'm not gonna remake it on stream just because it's pretty simple. It's just some basic shapes with a material on it. But this was just so I could test, like, you can climb out of water, but we got some bugs where it doesn't enter the climbing animation from the swimming animation, which I should look into. So that would be in our animation tree. I want my taskbar to hide. There's something about, oh boy, Godot locked up. It didn't like that I messed with the taskbar. Thanks. It would have taken me much longer if I hadn't already done it on Friday. But again, it was one of those things where I felt like it would be useful to share on stream. Alright, we're not locked up anymore, so let's go into our animation tree, edit. Let's see. So we have a transition from falling. We have, I think it might be better to move the swimming node to the other side, just so I can, maybe. Yeah, so we don't have a transition from ladder climb to swimming. So, let's see. Ladder equals true. Then we can also have one that goes the other way. Ladder is false. And then we might also want to transition from swimming to ledge grab. Over here. Let's grab those, move them. This is starting to get very unwieldy, so I have a lot of nodes that are all competing. So make a transition here. And this is grab ledge. Oh boy. Okay, so why was it rapidly going back and forth? That's weird. So the player is in the ladder climb state. But obviously the animation is in the swim state. Why was that? This is ladder's false. Oh. I have them reversed. This should be true. And then this one should be false. There we go. Yeah, I'm shaking their fur out to get dry. Alright, let's... That didn't really work. Okay, so it does look like it's working when we come out of the water. Let's see. So that's ladder is false. This ladder is true. One swimming is true. Swimming's false. What if we do ladder is true and swimming is false? No, that's alright. I don't think we're ever setting it's going to be false while we're in the water. Let me look at the remote scene real quick. Alright, animation tree. We have swimming here is set to false. So we might be running into a situation where it's like rapidly going back and forth. Swimming is true. Swimming and ladder are both true here. Okay. So the reason that it stopped, okay. Microsoft, go away. I'll say ladder is false and swimming is true. Ladder is true and skiing. Let's try that. Okay, now we're in a weird state. We're in swim idle, but we can't move. But it looks like the brute motion on the swimming animation is still applying for some reason. Thought I'd turn that off. Let's check on that. Somehow that got turned back up. Don't want keyframes on that. I also can't ledge grab for some reason. I think part of the issue is he gets in like a, so he's swimming, he's climbing a ladder, and then he goes from idle to walk to ladder climb all like super fast. So he's like on the edge of the ladder. I might need to take a quick break. Be right back. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and run ads now, but I might not be back when they're done. Hang tight, and I'll be back soon. Hello, I am back. Sorry about that. My tracking is being funky. Oh boy, we got a null ref here. Oh, I see. I think it's trying to change from. Not sure why it's doing that actually. Oh, I was trying to jump off the water. I see. I think I need to make sure the this jump check shouldn't be colliding with the water layer. Huh. Not sure why that happened actually. But it must have been they changed states while another transition was happening. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with that. This whole game is getting much more complex. A lot of interconnected dependencies. So why is it saying that we should still be in the swimming state? It's our current state is ladder. And then our relationship ladder is true. Swimming is false. I don't think, no, it's not gonna let me look at the actual state machine while this is running, I don't think. No. Okay. Huh. So, mission tree. It's true, something's false. Lower priority transitions are preferred. So if we set these to 0, let's see if that changes anything. No. Just double check. Make sure. Oh, I spelled ladder wrong. Ladder. I figured it was something stupid like that. Ladder has 2 D's. Not just one. Alright. There we go. Okay, so I'm technically walking right now, even though I'm in the water. That's not the intended behavior. Which I understand why it happened, because if I grab the ladder and I press A, that puts me in the falling state. And that's like, that overrides everything. Bonk. I also need to figure out why sometimes I don't transition into the roll animation. It might have something to do with the way that I'm doing some of these triggers. Let's see. Okay, so that one's set to So I think what might be happening is, so this is set to, it transitions into this animation. The way that I'm doing these transitions is with a condition rather than an expression, and the conditions have to reset themselves. So I think what might be happening is, like, in a case where I sometimes there might be a tween happening to get us out of an animation that might not get canceled properly. I'm not entirely sure why. It seems like it mostly happens. Could be happening when I'm... No. So one thing I need to do is, let's see. So if the player's on a ladder and gets below the surface of the water, it should force them off of the ladder into the swimming state, and they should bob up to the top of the water. And I also should have it so... Okay, I think in order to fix some of this, I'm just gonna, up here, I'm gonna say if state machine current state not equal to self, return. I think what might be happening is we're trying to call this change state here to the jump state, but state machine is not it's not the active state, and so state machine is null, I think. I think it might have happened because I was like rolling and jumping and trying to enter the water like at the same time. I got stuck. Okay, so I somehow was like, I was in the idle state when I entered the water. The idle state locks my movement. And so the swimming state isn't overriding that movement. Weird. Lots of bugs. Lots of fun bugs now. Alright. The one thing that I can't... This is... I keep jumping around. Let's see. One thing that I kind of want to add to the water is like a depth fade. Right now, you know, the water is, it's basically just, it looks like the surface of the water is transparent. Which, it's okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure in Wind Waker the water was fully opaque. But I know you can use the scene depth. Let's linear scene depth. So we could multiply the let's see. If we multiply the alpha by the scene depth, plug that in. What does that do? Oh, that is tricky looking. Right, what if we just plug the scene depth into the albedo for? Okay, it's fully white, and it's like blown out. It's above. Okay. So we'll plug this back into the alpha. Do we have a remap node? We do. So we remap it from so I'm fairly certain that the values that we're getting from the scene depth are not clamped. Let me look that up quickly. Godot here. Yeah. Looking at let's see. What if we clamp the scene depth to between 0 and 1? What does that look like if we plug that into just plug that straight into albedo? So if we plug vector 4 multiply. If we multiply our color by our scene depth, what do we get? What if we just get rid of this? Oh. Let's play around with this alpha value here. If it's... I don't think that's working the way that I want it to. I don't really know enough about how this scene depth texture works. What if instead of clamping it between 0 and 1, or yeah, 0 and 1, what if we clamp it between 1 and 0? This might not work the way that I want it to, but yeah. So if we clamp it between 0 and 1, and then we subtract it from 1, kind of like get the inverse of it. 1 minus depth texture. Multiply that. The heck? What have I done? So the subtraction should only be affecting the alpha, not the color. Unless the alpha is like a negative value now. Yeah, I guess the alpha became negative. That's so weird. It's not how I expected that to work at all. Oh well. We'll mess around with this later. We'll just use like a relatively high alpha value. Okay, I do want to make sure that the player puts away their sword when they enter the water. And same with the ladder too, actually. It shouldn't be too difficult. Alright, swim idle. Go and do our script. My words per minute? I have not checked in a long time. So we haven't touched it in a long time, but we have this equipment manager. Yeah, here. Oh, you can say equipment manager dot sword and shield. I'll throw the same thing in our ladder climbing. Ladder climb. Interstate. Sword and shield. Alright, so if we have our sword out and we jump in the water, sword goes away. I need to revisit the treasure chest opening at some point too. A lot of stuff on the to-do list. Oh boy. That was weird. So I also need to make it so when you enter the water, if you're holding something, you drop it. And this might actually break some stuff. So let's say if we do drop without a parameter, this it doesn't. Okay, you can't have multiple functions with the same name, I guess. We'll call this force drop. So go back to swim idle. Let's see. Pick wrapper. Force. And I don't think I need to do that in the ladder climb because I don't think you can climb a ladder while you're holding something. I might be wrong though. Let's find out. Yeah. Okay. Well, we can do that, which is incorrect. The pod is climbing the ladder, but not me. That was weird. Okay. So we need to make sure we set the animation to I don't even remember where we're setting the animator. It must be happening in the actual pickup and yeah. I need to mess around with Wind Waker to see how it behaves when when you jump into the water while you're holding something. I think it just like drops behind you or maybe in front of you. It definitely doesn't drop in place. And the that bug is still there. So for whatever reason, bombs are still still considered in range when you throw them. And I think it's only if you throw them. So, why would that... Alright, let's drill into this. Find our picker-upper. And we have pick up ground location. So this should keep track of current pickupable is null. And it should know. No. Thing. Let's look at the interactor is what I think is keeping track of those. Okay, why is that happening? Let's see. Picker-upper. Pickup. Where does this get called? I think it gets called from the interactor. Current interactable is not equal to null. Interact. So I think don't know why I have drop and drop pickupable as separate. Thanks for the hydrate reminder. So I think part of the issue is so I have this interaction state here in the interactor. So we call begin interaction if it is not pickup. So if it is pickup, the new interaction state is interaction state. Why I did that. So let's, our interactor here, interactables is empty. So yeah, it looks like current interactable is oh no, it's empty. Okay, so yes, for whatever reason, when we call throw, Um, yes. Through. Don't have a reference to the interactor, I think. No. So we can just try down here we'll say interactor dot current interactable no. Or end interaction state. So I think that will clear out our current interactable. Nope. Yeah, so it's not just the bombs, it's any throwable object. So let's we can just force it here, you know. Now we can't grab it. It does make it so if we put it down, we can't pick it up right away. Didn't clear up the interact text either. So that might not actually be what we want it to do. I wonder if this is not getting called anymore for some reason. This should be if current interactable is interactable. Should be setting current interactable to null and clearing the text. That's visual collision shape. So the big sphere is my my lock-on check. Right? Yeah. And the little sphere in front of the player should be the interaction check. Yeah. So that the pot exited the trigger, but it's still a current interactable. I guess we could call on body exited manually. Say vector dot on it will probably complain about this because normally when it has an underscore it's supposed to be private. I don't think it actually matters. It might not even complain. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, that worked. That seems to have fixed it. Okay. Cool. Can no longer pick up bombs that have been thrown. Let me check that off on my hacking plan real quick. And I should probably also make some notes about some of the weird swimming bugs that we added. Alright, let's look at our backlog, just the bugs. Send this to... Yeah. I'm gonna add a couple bugs to, I guess I should show you what I'm doing. Let's see. Can enter fall 8 swimming sometimes. Add ladder dropping objects. What were some of those other swimming related bugs? That's funny. Okay, so yeah, if you climb underwater, you enter the walk state and you get to the bottom. Then I'll also add ledge grab swimming. Which it very much seems like it should be. Oh, I know why. It's because the actual ledge grabbing logic is only in the run state. So I might need to move that to a separate It's also kind of weird that these the downward raycast isn't hitting that edge there. the... Okay, why do I still have row as my action here? So the fact that I can take out bombs while I'm swimming is weird. Taking out bombs. Some other things I want to add, flash sound when entering water, splash particle effect when entering water, bob up down when entering water. Because right now it kind of just has this harsh stop when really the player should overshoot the surface of the water and then come back up and then bob up and down a little bit. We'll have the I'm gonna also make a task for allow climbing down from top of ladder. Alright, I think I'm gonna go for about 10 more minutes and then I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up. Running out of steam a little bit today. I did a whole sword combo here without it triggering the animations. I think I started the combo from a roll. So it looks like the roll animation is slower than the. Thanks for the stretch reminder. And the hydrate. Yeah, that is true. Right, another thing I want to make sure works is being able to grab ledges and get on the ladder from a jump. So, like, I'm on the ladder, but I'm not in the ladder animation. So that works. I just need to actually make a transition. But actually ledge grabbing from the air is not working. Should be pretty simple to add. Grabbing the ledge from falling. That should just be a matter of adding a transition from fall loop to ladder climb. Set this to ladder is true. Make sure that ladder has 2Ds in it. There we go. Cool. Okay, so there's a couple bugs with ledge grabbing right now. One of them is that the player doesn't actually rotate correctly. Note those down. Allow ledge grab. I think on Thursday I want to add a basic enemy. I think it's gonna be like a slime. We can replace these cubes with slimes. Well, we can refine the combat a little bit and add a few more of the different weapons I want the player to be able to have, like a boomerang and a bow. And I also want to add a hook shot as well, but that's a little further away. That's going to require a few systems. In order of difficulty, I think the bow will be easiest, followed by the boomerang, and then the hook shot will be the hardest. Alright, I want to figure out why sometimes the sometimes we get stuck in the falling animation when we land. And it seems like it's mostly when we land on these. Or if we land while we're moving. So it idle, walk around, walk back. Super weird. Let's see. I think I might have an idea. Main state is idle. So we should be setting the landing trigger before we even change the state. I think what might be happening is the animation trigger. Well, hold on. Let's idle. Set the move to 0. I need to do some cleanup on this animation player thing. It's gotten... I'm using like 3 or 4 different ways of setting stuff, and they're not all playing nice together. But yeah, part of what I'm doing is I'm setting a trigger. And the trigger makes a timer, and then it sets the parameter back to false after this timeout here. So what might be happening is so what I think is happening is we are inside here. We're in our fall loop. we're supposed to transition back when land is set to true. And that's supposed to happen in the fall state before we change states. But I think it might just be taking too long to set it back to I'm actually sure. What? So this is supposed to auto advance based on the switch at end. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to come back to that one. Let me just make sure there I have a note of it. Fall animation, that's sometimes gets stuck. Usually object after climbing. Alright. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up here. Thank y'all for hanging out. Find somebody to read. Let's see. Who's doing cool stuff today? Lots of people I don't recognize. Good raid Juno. He's playing Deltarune. So that might be spoiler zone. Oh, Core just started? We'll raid Core then. I didn't see Core Hawk on my list. He must have like just started. Where are you? There you are, Core. We'll raid Core Hawk. Alright. Oh, it's his birthday. Cool. Let's all wish him a happy birthday. And hope to see you all on Thursday. Have a good one. Bye.